there was need for more members of the fire company, and so there were about 4 of us that did become members at that time. So I had a chance to learn a little bit about what was going on for just about a year. Then I went to the Navy Air Corps. When I came back after that, then I got active with the fire company again. Of course, it was 5 years space there. And after about 2 years, I became president of the hose company, which was a surprise. And so I've been involved in this since the beginning. And I have 3 stories I want to tell you because there's a lesson in each one of them. The first one, I'm not sure that all of you are aware that Mansfield used to handle everything as far as Lawrenceville. We were called up there one night for a fire, and it was just about this time of year. And what happened was I was carrying a piece of suction hose down into the river, and there was ice along the bank, and I slipped. My foot went underneath this cake of ice, but the rest of me kept on going. The foot came out finally, but it was dislocated, and I was at a point. We had a banquet 2 days later out at Corey Creek Golf Course, and I, of course, couldn't go because I couldn't walk. But the siren went in the borough building, and it was obvious that there was a fire someplace. I managed to hop out to my car. I came up, and it was pretty hard with just one leg, believe me. But at any rate, another member of the company had also not gone to the banquet. So the 2 of us took all the fire equipment out because the fire was in our building. Now, the interesting part of it is that the 2 of us, he was a fellow Charlie Curtis that some of you might know, and between the 2 of us, we got everything out. And I'll tell you, it was difficult because I couldn't put my foot down. But at any rate, we wondered, when is somebody going to come? Because all the firemen are out at the golf course. Well, guess what happened? Somebody called, and believe it or not, they said the fire station's on fire. And they said, thanks a lot, and hung up. So after about 3 calls, they all came in. Well, the lesson there is that if a fire station ever calls or catches on fire, be sure that you explain seriously that this is not a joke, it's true. Lesson number 1. The next thing was when we had an ambulance call. We had just gotten an ambulance for the first time from Wellsboro. We were having a meeting and a call came in about an accident in Tioga. We ran down, got in the ambulance, and we got up there and discovered that we had 4 people. It was a very serious accident. 1 person had been killed, but there were 4 to take to the hospital in Wellsboro. Now, this ambulance had adequate room for 2 people. It was a little crowded, but it was adequate. Unfortunately, we had 4 people to take to the hospital, and 6 of our ambulance group were in the ambulance. Somehow it didn't handle 10 very well. So at any rate, that was the 3rd thing, or the 2nd thing. And that was, it was a lesson to make sure that you didn't have more people in the ambulance when you responded, when you didn't know for sure how many people we had to take to the hospital. We had 3 people that did manage to hitchhike back to Mansfield. Well, The final one, I have to tell you, is just personal for myself. One of the things, and of course the background we had in the training was good, but I think one of the things that most of us feared more than anything else, that we might pick up some pregnant woman and have to do something about a child. I think we all, I will say this, and it's kind of serious in a way, so tell somebody, please keep your legs close together. Well, we picked somebody up in, not Roseville, in Mansfield, and I happened to be in the back end of the ambulance by myself. And as much as I was concerned, I managed to deliver a boy under the stoplight in Mansfield. And you know, after that, I thought, gee, I really listened to this training, and I did a pretty good job. I always wanted to do it one more time, but it never happened. So, at any rate, there was a lesson there that when you're being told some of the things you can do, don't worry about it, because when you have to, you can do it. So, anyway, and I guess the only other thing is that 70 years I've been very lucky, and I just realized that I never did a thing for myself. I did it for what I could do for the community. So.